media and even national TV that she was arrested with 26 million and another one with 5 million. And it was, these people are sponsored by politicians in Kiambu who have an interest in learning for the...
I want to advise that we restrict ourselves to the issues
if you want to me to answer
the committee. We will be safer that way. Otherwise, we'll open a can of worms.
I'm ready to answer all the questions that you prefer against me. If you want us to follow
even though, Governor, you know, more specifically, you have not addressed the questions put. For example,
ask me one by one. I will answer fully.
You are talking of misuse of templates.
Yes.
But how will this committee establish what these 793 million that was paid purportedly for free primary education, where did it go to? How can we confirm that? Because what we have has been certified, has been signed by your CEC. You see the situation we are in?
If you look at the budget votes.
Just a minute, Governor. Because I'm just trying to, we are not driven by malice or anything. It is what is before us that is not making absolute sense. It's either you spent on State House,
yes,
or if you didn't spend on State House, how else will we know when the statements you have signed indicate that you have a budget line for State House? So there's nothing here about Kiambu and politics. This is about the facts that are before us.
Chairman, honestly speaking, I want to believe that this report was not interfered by anybody to put in those things so that when I come here, I'll be cornered the way you are cornered. I just want to believe. Very sincerely. Very sincerely.
Could we let him just in 1 minute and then
yes.
or was he completely out of order?
Please, I have not. At least I thought, because I've been in these parliamentary committees, I thought that you give time to at least to people to speak. You cannot be like a mob against.
Knowing parliamentary procedure, you know that point of orders. Okay, let's hear the governor for 1 minute.
But Chair, alongside, we can
I wanted to
within
put my point straight.
Just be orderly for that next 1 minute.
Yes, my point is clear. My point is very, very clear that it is true and it is natural for people to have an interest. But honestly, I want to believe that the committee will be neutral and look at the issues as they are. And I'm apologizing that we have such issues in the report, but I don't know how they came to my report, because we didn't spend any money. And I would believe, honestly speaking, that such temperate could not have just come here by themselves. There must be somebody who...
Let me help you in that. Auditor General, the numbers that I've read, were they submitted to your office by the county government of Kiambu?
Chair, the financial statement that is attached to the report was submitted by the county of Kiambu.
So we have dealt with that. So there's no malice, there was no mischief. Those are the financial statements that you submitted to the General. So you can proceed with that in mind.
Then I want to tell this committee and assure this committee that there was no money spent whatsoever on Southern Sudan. No money was spent on free education. No money was spent on State House, because we don't have a vote for that. And I also want to tell you that the variance between the IFMIS and the financial statement, this is something that everybody can understand. You know, IFMIS is controlled by Treasury, and we don't have a way of doing the reconciliation immediately. So this is something that, but we have followed up the reconciliation, and we have indicated clearly here that what the variance was. What I also wanted to tell this committee that we received our exchequer in July, and all the expenditures were committed in June. So the variances you are seeing between the cash book and even the IFMIS is because the commitments were done in June, while the payments were done in July. We were allowed by the Treasury to continue up to around the end of July, So the variance between the figures up to June and in the true payment is expected. It is something that can be explained. This one happened to all the counties because the money, the exchequer came late. But what I want to tell my friend Mr. Amatangi and my senator is that as the leadership in Kiambu County, we are committed to what we promised to our people. And if you have any figure that has a variance or has a difference, you are free to come to my county or even visit the assembly, which you have never visited even a single day.
Yeah, let's not get there.
We were there and had guided you accordingly. Please don't get back to trouble. Yeah, let's proceed.
What I want to with is that as the administration in Kiambu County, we are ready either to face this, to answer questions in this budget presentation, or if you decide to have a special audit committee, we shall be ready to cooperate so that we can give the true picture as it is. And I would wish that, Mr. Chairman, from here you give a warning that people should report the truth as it has happened today. Because there's a habit in Kiambu. There's a habit in Kiambu. I'm telling you, there's a habit in Kiambu that the truth is never told, and that is why I wanted to give you an example with this lady, that she was taken in for just driving a GK vehicle.
What
was out there,
Governor,
honestly, I wanted to tell
Point of order, Chair.
Is that bad to say?
Point of order, Chair.
It is getting out of the substantive issues, and because
okay.
if we focus on these issues, we will do justice to the people of Kiambu.
Yes, and we are ready for you to do that.
Yes. So
we welcome you to do exactly what you have said.
There was an intervention by Senator Kibiru.
Not even an intervention now. I want just to give the governor just a brief. Like you said, you have CPAs, you have doctors, but governor, when the Auditor General decides to come audit Kiambu, there are steps that he undertakes.
Yes.
First, he writes and says the days he is going to come. So there is the first meeting. He meets with your people, the relevant people who bring in the statements that you are talking about, the financial statement. Then they do sampling on the areas that they are going, and they agree on the documentation that they are going to provide to the Auditor General. From there, the Auditor General carries out the audit and writes to you or the CEC a management letter quelling a number of issues. And then he calls for a meeting to come and discuss the management letter. Then after that, he brings in a draft report. The draft report is discussed in your office by your officers, where supposedly, as a CEO, you are supposed to be informed. Thereafter, the exit meeting is done, and then the final report is presented to you. So I don't see where the politics of Kiambu, the bloggers, or anybody else comes into this. Let us, Chairman, we must separate facts. As far as we are concerned, unless somebody has cooked these figures overnight, this is a process that took many years, and your people were duly involved. I think, Chairman, we need to clarify that we are not dealing about shenanigans here or bloggers. It is a fact.
Thank you, Senator Kibiru. I like the fact that you are pointing us to a way forward, and I want that then to be the focus of interventions.
Can you excuse me for a minute? I wanted to refer you to our vote heads, which are here in that budget, and you can see that there is those are the budget heads that we deal with, and that's where from where we pay. And we have nothing else except the vote heads that are here.
Okay, fine, Governor.
Just refer to them.
Senator Matangi.
Budget performance.
Chair, what I just wanted to put in perspective clearly what we are talking about here, so that even as we close the meeting finally and we have a way forward, Chair, we are clear. One is that the Auditor General, and I believe, Chair, the Governor, when he came in here, has confirmed on record that he has submitted, Chair, responses to these audit queries. And if he has submitted those responses, Chair, that means that he has gone through those audit queries and made answers to them. So he cannot be saying that he's strange to those figures, while those figures are contained in this audit query, which you have confirmed you responded to, and you have filed responses without a general this morning. Actually, those files there, behind there, are supposed to be containing the responses you have written in answer to this. So there is no way you would be saying that you responded to something again that you're disputing whether it's authentic or not authentic. These figures are the figures that you responded to. This variance that is queried here of 45 billion is what you have responded to in that report that you filed.
Chair, but
now, secondly,
let him prosecute, and then you will respond. Just, I'll give you a chance.
Secondly, Chair, let's debunk this thing about the peace process in Sudan and votes in State House and so on. Chair, in the process of forwarding documents after expenditure, and one of the biggest problems that counties are having right now is expenditure out of IFMIS. That is one of the big problems they're having. That counties are able to, and from the evidence availed here, Kiambu County being one of them, are able to go to the system from the CRF account and access funds without going through IFMIS. But then after these monies have been committed and paid, either for whatever reasons, then has got to be justified. But because then after that expenditure, it has got to appear somewhere, that is why you find mysterious names. You know, the only thing, Chair, I want to say firmly is this, that it was the expectation of this county when they're providing these documents that we would not scrutinize inside there and see those votes. That would be one of the reasons. And what we have to do is to hold the bar high, very, very high, Chair, such that at the end of the day, every single penny, because the Auditor General does not get these figures from elsewhere. He gets from the records that have been given by the county. He does not come with his own documents. So everything written here is as a result of what was found in the county government's offices. And I want to finalize by saying exactly what Senator Kibiru has said without repeating it, that this is a process that you had every opportunity to query for almost a whole 6 months before from the time the auditor came. So let's not play this game in here. And lastly, Chair, because I think the governor has repeated it so many times that, oh, the senator didn't come to, I want to say to you, Governor, and I was avoiding
through the chair.
Yes, through the chair. I
was
really avoiding a scenario where we are having an exchange because it's not necessary. There are so many established methods of communication and liaison between the office of the senator, the governor, and the county assembly. I want you to know from now onwards, as you say that I have constantly, not probably less than twice a week, engaged the county assembly in communication, written and verbal, and monitoring what they are doing. So it is not the seeing me in person. My office does not have to walk through me, that when you see me that my office is working. My office works. That is why you find I am completely abreast with the issues at the county assembly. And by the time we prosecute this report, you will realize that I have everything at the fingertips of exactly what has been happening, including in the county government. And I also want you to know that, Chair, as per the request that I had made to this committee and a letter that has been written to the governor, I have raised issues continuously with the county government of Kiambu and specifically the governor's office on all these matters you're hearing about this runaway and wild expenditure, but not a single of those inquiries or letters or demands for explanation has been answered. That is why I resorted at the end of the day, Chair, when this county government, governor and the team are coming here, that is why I had written to you as the chairperson, although I'm a member, and requested that those issues in all the letters that they have failed to respond to for the last 1 year about the expenditures of funds in Kiambu, that they bring in written responses as they come today. And that's why you heard me saying from the first go when they sat down that it should not be a surprise that they are bringing in documents this morning. It is absolutely calculated. So, Chair, as we conduct the special audit, the letter that I wrote to this committee demanding an explanation on all the key issues has got to be dealt with, Chair, and those answers and responses must be submitted so that the people of Kiambu will be satisfied. I am the senator for that county, elected specifically to ensure that the funds that are allocated to that county or either collected from those people are spent not only prudently, but with responsibility. Lastly, Chair, allow me to say that if you look at the newspapers today, the headlines in the Standard show how the CRA and we indeed in Parliament are going to have the county allocations to all the various counties. And Kiambu is amongst those counties that have benefited from a major increment. Kiambu County, up from 9 billion to 10 billion, is now going to be receiving almost 13 billion. So I want the governor, as he sits here, and talking about the senator, not going there, to know, and Chair, you know it is on record, including I going to court, that we have put up a fight, and myself in person, to ensure that there is an increment. We were engaged even yesterday with Senator Kebiro in a meeting with CRA. We have had to do this continuously to ensure that these county governments get more funds. Kiambu has an increment of almost 2 billion. We are not putting up this fight for these funds to come to the county, and then you get stories and figures, and then when you call your governor, he comes here to talk stories about you not going to see him in his office. It is